Hello, and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Circuit Stream's Lidar Robots, where we're going to build and control our very own robots to take over the world. I'm just kidding. We're not going to take over the world. We are going to build a robot, though, using Lidar. Before I do kick off, everyone, can you please let me know on the right of the screen, there is a chat tab. Can you hear me? Can you see me? How's the audio? How's the visual? Am I all good? If you could let me know in the chat. Jerry, thank you. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Rogelio, Jacob, thank you, everyone, for letting me know. Once again, welcome to another workshop with Circuit Stream. We're so excited to be teaching you all about some iOS stuff for a change. We do mainly PC and Android content when we are doing mobile. So today we're going to be focusing on LiDAR, and we will be doing some iOS content for everybody. And we're so excited to kick this workshop off. As always, I have a couple of housekeeping items that I want to go over with everybody in the audience today. Already on the right of the screen, you have discovered the chat tab. Feel free to, pop in your LinkedIn, network with your fellow XR enthusiasts, engage with the content, use this chat tab however you would like. However, I do ask that if you have questions at the top of that chat tab, or the chat window, pardon me, there is a questions tab. So if you do have questions, we are going to be flying through a lot of content. We've got a packed schedule today, so please paste them there so that at the end of the workshop, pardon me, we can get to all of the questions that we missed in the Q&A session. It'll really help us keep on track with the schedule today and stay organized. Besides that questions tab, there is the polls tab at the top of your chat window. Periodically, I am going to be tossing in a couple of polls, and I will provide a warning for you as well. This helps us engage with the audience, understand your experience, and so on and so forth. So whenever I say, hey, poll warning, navigate up on over there and answer the polls that I drop in. Please and thank you. I always like to ask this at the start of our workshops too. For those of you who might be located internationally, we'd love to see people from all over the world joining us. So please let me know in the chat tab there. Where are you tuning in from today? I myself am in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It is a gray and overcast day today, but there is some nice weather expected next week, so fingers crossed. I see the Netherlands, the US, Germany, a really international crowd today, so awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. We've got Ohio, what else? Wales, the UK, Long Island. I love Toronto. We'll hope you should definitely visit Toronto more often. It's a beautiful city. We love it here. Minnesota, Miami, amazing. Well, thank you all for joining us. For those of you who are located internationally or have to jump off for other obligations, maybe you've got another workshop with another educational XR company, I hope not, but if you do have to jump off at any point, don't worry too much about it. We are going to be recording this webinar. The recording from the workshop today, as well as all of the project files and assets, they will be automatically emailed to everybody who signed up to attend. So don't worry if you miss a step or something like that. Typically, we recommend that folks attending our workshops just be an active listener, watch the first time, and then along with the recording after the fact, that's when we recommend you try this at home in case you need to pause, rewind, and so on. In terms of a quick agenda today, I'm going to be your host. I do have my colleague Nakisa backstage at the moment who will be running through the technical presentation. So I'm going to take about 10 minutes here to introduce the content today, our company, what we do, and how we can help you. Then Nakisa will take over and run you through about a 40 to 45 minute technical presentations before I will jump back on and wrap things up and introduce our Q&A session where Nakisa will rejoin me on stage. So without further ado, let's get going here. Hi, everyone. My name is Kyle Nichols, and I am the education lead here at Circuit Stream. I bring about 3 years of professional experience spanning across the sports and technology industries. A fun fact that I always love to share about myself, and if you've seen our workshops before, this isn't new anymore, but I am an NBA champion. No, not as a player. I did have the pleasure of working with Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment here in Toronto, and I did get to take part in the 2019 NBA Championship with the Toronto Raptors. It was the time of my life, really cool experience, and I'm really glad that I got to be a part of Canada's first NBA championship. So that's something I always love to share. But now I work in the wonderful world of VR and AR, and I help to educate folks of all skill levels on how to build, prototype, and manage XR content. I have mentioned Nakisa as well. Nakisa is backstage. She is one of our lead instructors and developers here at CircuitStream. She is our resident queen of AR. She's passionate about Magic Leap, HoloLens, mobile AR, and more. And a little bit of a fun fact about her, she occasionally takes part in a circus, although not at the moment. She unfortunately hurt her foot recently, so she won't be doing any trapeze acts anytime soon, but maybe she can tell you that story a little bit as well. Now, CircuitStream, we are a global company, so let's take a look at who we are. We were founded in 2015 when we noticed a gap in the personalized training and education spaces. Today, we've had over 35,000 learners from all over the planet as we've educated those folks on how to build, manage, and deploy VR and AR content using the Unity game engine. Today, CircuitStream is a team of about 20 experts coming from all different backgrounds from all over the world to teach folks about the wonderful world of VR and AR. Speaking of Unity, CircuitStream is a Unity certified training partner, and training partners are approved based on their expertise, their focus on quality education, and their commitment to providing the highest level of training available. So we strategically partner with Unity to collaborate on creating this educational training content of the highest quality for people of all skill levels and for their companies. So above all else, what are we? Well, we're an educational company. As you can see here on screen, we've had the pleasure of working with some of the world's largest and most exciting companies. And given how quickly this industry is accelerating, the biggest companies in the world are taking notice and innovating alongside the technology. And for us, it's been a privilege to work in our customers and an honor to teach members of their companies how to build this content. So how does this all manifest itself? Well, we have a portfolio of an academic portfolio, that is, of free online workshops and webinars, just like today, what we're doing right now, and also a variety of courses that we offer, which are all designed to help students learn how to build VR and AR content in Unity. These courses are mainly designed for beginners, but we do also have a more intermediate or advanced course for folks that might already be proficient in Unity and in programming with the C# languages. And we break down our courses into two main categories. And on screen here, you can see both of our full courses, which are definitely our flagship programs. When I say full courses, I mean that in addition to the live, part-time, and online lessons built into each program, you also get weekly one-on-one appointments with an expert like Nakisa to work on a personal project that you are passionate about. It's important to note that what we're teaching in both of these courses on screen aren't unique to any one platform or piece of hardware. So what we're teaching you is a collection of fundamental skills and best practices that are generally applicable to any headset or any use cases. The short courses, which I'll speak about in a minute, are different in that we are teaching for specific learning goals or specific learning outcomes. On the left on screen, you can see that our XR Development with Unity course is a 10-week program with 40 hours of education. This is the flagship course that is very beginner friendly and typically what we recommend most new students start with. On the other hand, the Project Accelerator course is more intermediate or advanced, and it's for folks that don't need practice with best practices or with basic proficiencies and skills, but it's all about taking an existing prototype or idea that you might have for an application and bringing it to that next level. Now, for now, I don't want to spend too much time on these programs, but after Nakisa's presentation, I will break them down in greater detail. Now, you might be at home asking yourself today, what makes us different from other VR and AR companies in the educational space? Well, it's really that one-to-one support that's included in and after our programs. We believe that fundamentally the best way to learn something new is to get hands-on and to build your very own project idea with the help of an expert that will meet with you every week to support you. Having the opportunity to work on your very own project for your portfolio is a major benefit, and that's what our students love most about learning with us. It's also important to note that we do offer one-to-one training packages with our instructors if you want to learn without a preset curriculum. So if you prefer not to take one of our courses, but you do see value in learning with us, you can purchase a preset number of hours with instructors like Nakisa. Now, complementing our full courses, we do also offer 2 short courses that I'll break down in a minute. Just like the XR Development with Unity and XR Project Accelerator programs, these are taught part-time and completely live and online, and also are beginner friendly. However, unlike the 10-week XR Development with Unity course, the curriculum targets more specific learning areas that are particularly important for beginners to know, or might be of specific interest above and beyond general best practices that we teach. I will break these down later on after Nakisa's part, as I mentioned, but these courses can be taken alone as standalone programs. However, we typically recommend pairing them up with our 10-week course to facilitate that learning environment that we've experienced in the past. Now, last thing to mention here, not to be forgotten, is our team training opportunities. So if your company is considering investing in VR and AR technology, or is looking to have a group of folks upskill in this space together, we would love to work with you to create a customized training program designed to suit your specific needs and challenges. These bootcamp style sessions are great because they teach specifically what you need to learn to maximize the value of your investment and innovation with this technology. In this space and in this medium, we've had the pleasure of working with organizations like the US Navy, Walmart, VMware, and more recently, just a few months ago, BMW in this space. Okay, great. Now that you've learned a little bit about CircuitStream, let's talk more about Unity. I have mentioned Unity quite a few times already, but I do want to be sure that we're all up to speed. Now, first test, head on over to our polls tab. I am going to publish a poll here in just 1 second. So let me do that. So on a scale of 0 to 10, how much experience do you have with Unity? So please let me know. I always like to see how our audience is faring. Okay, so it seems like we have a mostly beginner audience today. We've got a few people who have listed themselves at 6, 7, 8, 9, but the vast majority of folks are just getting started with Unity, and that's obviously quite okay. So for the beginners in the audience, what is Unity? Well, Unity is a development engine, and the LTS, or long-term service version of Unity, is a free program that allows you to create 2D and 3D games, simulations, and experiences. This is the engine that we use to teach in all of our courses, and in our opinion, it is definitely the easiest way to begin making your own apps in XR, which is just a fancy umbrella term to describe virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality as well. So how do you actually bring your ideas to life? How do you create these projects? Well, like anything, these applications all start with an idea. From there, you need to build your assets and bring them into an engine just like Unity and create immersive interactions using scripts in the C# programming language. Now, there are tools out there such as the XR Interactions Toolkit, which is basically an asset package that you can download with a series of preset scripts or assets like that allow you to leverage them as a developer to make your job more efficient. As far as I'm aware, we won't be using XRTK today, but this is an option for you non-coders out there. Now, despite this, we do recommend that all developers, designers, and 3D modelers have at the very least some basic skills in C# so you're not limited by the tools that you're using. Now, once you're happy with your build in Unity, you need to leverage what's called an SDK, which stands for a software development kit, to effectively verify that your target headset or device is capable of hosting your application. So once you've pushed your build through this SDK, you can effectively render and publish your app, and voila, there you are, you've got an app. Now, what are you going to learn today? Well, today we're going to talk about what LiDAR is and how to use it within Unity. So LiDAR, which stands for light detection and ranging, is a remote sensing method that uses light in the form of a laser to measure a range between you and your surroundings. This is very similar to radar, which does the exact same thing but uses radio waves to measure distance using sound. So today, using LiDAR, we're going to talk about meshing. We're going to be using the AR kit package. We're going to talk about how to create and control an avatar using an iOS device, and even how to use joystick implementation to control that avatar. So today is an intro to LiDAR robots and how to build your very own. Without further ado, I'd like to invite Nakisa up here on stage to take over. And I can't express this enough. It is a privilege and an honor to have Nakisa with us here today. She is absolutely a wizard, a Jedi master with AR, and we're really excited to have her. So Nakisa, come up on stage and take it away whenever you're here.
Hi, welcome. Guys.
All yours.
Jedi mind tricks. I have no tricks. But hi, let's just do like a little bit of a sound check. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Hello. Hello. Yep. Yes. Okay. Thumbs up. Cool. Now there's a little bit of a superfluous description that Kyle gave me there. It's a lie that I'm a Jedi, but you know what I was thinking? Like, why are ghosts so bad at lying? It's because you can see right through them. Anyways, so we are going to be developing on an iPad Pro. So if you're using a LiDAR scanner, it's going to be on your iPhone 12 or, the most recent iPad Pro, that sort of thing. So I have my iPad right here, if you can see it. It's right, this giant thing. And so I'm a PC gal. And hi, Myra. So I'm a PC gal, PC master race, but there is a trick. There's a workaround, but it's a little bit illegal. So you know what? Let's just like keep it on the down low. Keep it on the down low, and hush hush for science. Anyways, so what I have here, and I'm just going to start sharing my screen. What I have here is I'm using a virtual machine. And this virtual machine is from VMware, so you can go there. And now you can't really purchase a Mac OS license here yet. So there's, shh, it's okay. But what I have here is I am emulating a Mac OS here, and it's a Big Sur beta. So everyone can see this, right? Yeah. Cool. So we are going to get started with the technical portion of this thing. So I'll be walking through creating a project from scratch and then building it onto the iPad and going through like all the whole like Xcode nonsense and thanks, Apple, all that stuff today. And you'll probably see me pull out my hair for all the things that we're going to do and all the jumps. So what we will do, we'll be answering questions after the technical portion. So Michael will be throw that in the chat, not the chat, but the questions there. All right, so this is going to be super cool, super fun. I am super excited because I've been playing with this thing like yesterday, and it's like, oh, it's so fun. Anyways, you will be receiving a GitHub repository for this project, so you can pull that, clone it, and have at it. So we're going to get started here. Now, I'm usually using a 2020 version of Unity here. So I'm going to click on that new, and you know what? Let's create right there And we're selecting the usual location, which is users, and username, documents in Unity. So I'm going to rename this project to something like Lidar Robots. Lidar Robots. Why do ghosts like organic food so much? Click on create. It's because it's supernatural. This is what you get, guys. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I make no apologies. Something that's on my bucket list is that there is like a national pun championships. And I gotta see this. I gotta see it. So I'm creating a new project here through Unity Hub on my virtual machine, and sooner or later we will open that thing up. Alrighty, there we go. We'll see about that. I mean, it would be nice instead of because my circus career is a little bit dampened with a broken ankle and everything, but we'll see. I mean, like it'd be pretty nice to be a pun championship. So this is what we see here. This is our Unity project. So, very first thing that we need. We are going to use AR Foundation. Now, using a LiDAR scanner is specific for iOS, so you will need to use AR Kit to talk to your iOS device. Dang, Eric! Oh, dang. Missed you, bud. So the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to install AR Foundation and AR Kit. So let's go to the Windows and the Package Manager. And for those of us, or for those of you who are just new to this thing, have no fear. Actually, you know what? Let's go over like a brief explanation as to what the interface is here. So let's wait for that to load and close that. So right here, this is a hierarchy. This is a list of all the things that are living in your project. In the scene view, this is where you do your world creation. So we have this lovely, albeit boring, skybox is what it's called. It's basically like being inside a cube, and there's pictures on the inside of the 6-sided cube. And so in the scene view, this is where we position things in our world. And then we have our sample scene here. And we're going to create we'll create a new scene sooner or later. But right now, we're going to explain this hierarchy. So this hierarchy is a list of all the game objects that are living. These things are called game objects. And these are all the things that make up your world currently. Now, when it comes to like your typical 3D application, you'll have like an environment, maybe some trees, maybe some grass, water, all that stuff. But when it comes to AR, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit tricky. So then on the right-hand side, we have something called an inspector, and that's because it inspects the game object you've selected. So I'm clicking on my main camera here, and over in the inspector, we have all the components that make this thing up. Just like if you'd selected a human, you would see the components that make up a human are anxiety, blood, organs, food, all that stuff. So we are going to download some packages, that AR Foundation for one thing, and that AR Kit, and that will let us do all the AR magic we want with our devices. So I'm going to click on Windows and then Package Manager. And so this Package Manager, I'm going to look for right here. I'm going to click on that, and I want the Unity registry. And I'm going to look for two things and another thing eventually. So I'm going to scroll down to where I see AR Foundation. And now when you're downloading these packages, right off the bat, you want to keep the versions the same. So we see that we have AR Foundation 4.0.12. And then we have AR Kit plugin, which is 4.0.12. So when it comes to versioning of downloading these packages, you want to keep them nice, keep them the same. So I'm going to download my AR Foundation here. And where's that button? This AR Foundation, I'm going to click on Install. Wait for it to do its thing. You know, there's a really fantastic instructor, Tyrell, and he's definitely a wizard. He's such a wizard. And he's a math major. So I was like, you know what? Why didn't 4 ask out 5? And it's because it was 2 squared. Anyways. So let's download the ARKit XR plugin right there. So we're going to click on that and click on Install. And we have that little, there we go, it's importing. And then we'll have another thing to install. Another pesky little thing. So in the same way, but it was that's because puns are awesome, Jacob. So when we're using all of these plugins that have to do with XR, the all-encompassing term of XR, so that's VR, like virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, like for Magic Leap or Windows Mixed Reality, that sort of thing. Why is 6 scared of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. It's brilliant. So when we're using all of these plugins, Unity has a way to sort of collect all these things and organize them. It's kind of like herding cats into the same pen. All of these cats need to be, and I say herding cats because sometimes it does not work correctly. So the other thing that we need to download is the thing that herds all these cats. And that is way down at the bottom of this package manager, and it's called the XR plugin management. Now, automatically, it's already been installed. That's because we've installed something called a dependency, because all the XR plugins are dependent on this one thing. All of these one things. So now that that is all done, we're going to close that, and we'll handle that a little bit later on. But right away, we've seen that we have a new folder. It's called XR. So let's get our scene all up and ready to go, and our project all organized. So we'll have a folder that has scripts, and then we'll have some other folders downloaded from a package that I've neatly done that contains our robots. You'll be able to choose from 2. One is a spherical robot that's so cute, and the other one is a plane. Now the plane is very interesting because the plane is using gyroscopic information from the device itself. Now, I am terrible at controlling it because I'm a controller gal. Let's create a scripts folder here. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import the package, and that package will be provided to you guys as well. So to import a custom package, a Unity package, I'm going to go to Assets and Import Package and import a custom package. Now it's in my downloads, and there it is, my Lidar Robot Unity package. So I'm going to click on Open, and we'll import all of the things there. So here we see we have that robot sphere, minimize that, and we have that rusty plane. And we have that there. And then we have some scripts. So we have a script where it's somewhere in here. We have scripts. There it is. So we have a robot touch controller. And that's the script to control our robot. And then we have a plane touch controller. And in this package as well is there should be a joystick package, but that's okay. I'll show you guys which joystick package I'm pulling from here. Let's go to import. So let's see some errors here, and that's because we do not have a joystick. So we are going to go ahead to the asset store and download some assets. So let's go to Window and Asset Store. So there's a very neat little pack here. And let's do search online. And we are going to search for a joystick pack. Here, joystick. There. Now this is a free pack and it's one of my favorite ones to use. And hit enter. Here we go. So it should be searching. Searching. Ah, there it is. Joystick pack. This is the one that we want. So I'm going to click on that. And now the asset store is a place where you can get 3D models, you can get scripts, you can get frameworks, you can get a bunch of nifty little things. So I'm going to click on open in Unity and click on allow. And this will import that joystick package into my Unity editor. And there it is. There she blows. So we're going to click on download. Now you'll have to bear with me here. This Mac OS isn't as powerful as my PC that I built myself with my hands. And click on import. And so this is all the stuff that we need here. And we're going to click on import. And give it a minute. What is two butts and kills people? Give you a moment. An assassin. Anyways, so our joystick pack has been imported. Let's close that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the scene view because in that package, we have a new scene. Scroll down a little bit and go into our scenes, and we have that AR air robot control. So we can double click on that, and then we're going to import this TMP Essentials. This is a Text Mesh Pro. It makes your text look really crisp and nice. So we can click on that to import, and then we can close that. So now let's see. We have a Lidar Canvas, and there we go. So for our Lidar Canvas, we have this little joystick here, and let's look at the game view. And let's do, instead of a free aspect, let's take a look at, let's do that one. Oh geez. That's kind of terrible. Okay, let's do something smaller. Let's do this one. Ah, there we go. There we go. So let's zoom out a little bit. Zoom out. There we go. Ah, yes. So what's going to happen is we have two things. This little button, this button is just to switch your sphere to your plane and back again. So bloop, bloop, just where it toggles, that sort of thing. And this little joystick, it's a touch controller. You can use it with your thumb and move it around, and you'll be able to move around your little robot. Now, when it comes to the sphere, it moves in the direction. When it comes to the plane, it'll use your the joystick will use your upward force, keeping the plane afloat. And then its movement will be based on the gyroscope. Now, before we dive into that little pieces of code there, I'm going to show you what creates a AR scene. So the big things that you really need is this. We have an AR session origin and an AR session. So an AR session starts your, AR session. It starts gathering input, starts doing the thing and all that stuff. Now your AR session origin is very, very interesting. So when you're creating like a 3D app, you know where the origin of the world is. And the origin of the world, let's take a look at, your origin of the world. When we see in the transform here, it has a position, rotation, and scale. The position is an X, Y, and Z. Now, who can tell me what coordinate system that is? What coordinate system uses X, Y, and Z? Let me throw it in the chat. Eric, shh! You're cheating. But Eric, you are right. It is Cartesian coordinate systems. Yeah. So we have a Cartesian coordinate system which uses your X and a Y and a Z. So there are 3 different pieces of information there. And so let's do like a brief little exclamation of that thing. So when it comes to coordinate systems, we have our y-axis, like so. We have our y, and then we have our x, and then we also have a z coordinate system. So when we have a coordinate that's like right here, right there, this has like a y, and then it also has a z, but it has no x, right? So y, let's say this is 2, and let's say this is 3. So because we're working in the Cartesian coordinate system, we still have an x. We still have an x. It's just going to be 0. So Cartesian is a breed of dogs. I thought it was some type of royalty. So when it comes to the x, y, and z, in this transform, we have position of x, y, and z. So that means the position here would be 0 in the x, 2 in the y, and 3 in the z. Now this can also describe a direction. So the direction going from 0, 0, 0, 0, which is the origin of this system, going to this point is also described like that, 0, 2, and 3. Making sense? This will be important later on when we are instantiating our little spheres. By instantiating, I mean let there be sphere and there is sphere. Kind of like let there be light and there is light. Magic, but actually science. So that's a crash course in the Cartesian coordinate system here. And we're going to use that when we instantiate some things. So our AR session origin, now remember, the AR session origin is an origin, right? Kind of like how Spider-Man almost has his supervillain origin story, almost. And so the origin of this world is at 0, 0, 0, right? But the origin of the world when it comes to AR, we don't really know what it is. Like, what is the origin in AR? Because in AR, we're not using the environment we've built in the scene. We're using the environment around us. So is the origin like Rome? Is it the city center? Is it Earth's core? Is it the sun? Is it the center of the Milky Way? Is it the center of the universe? Is there a center of the universe? What's going to happen to it? Anyways, existential crisis aside, the AR session origin is something that does all of these matrix calculations to make sure that the origin is at your AR camera, and your AR camera is your phone, because that is what the constant variable is. When you are using AR, it's your phone. It's the thing that does the tracking. It's the thing that does the thing, right? So that's what your AR session origin does. And you need both of these things in the scene in order for you to use AR. Making sense so far? Is that a yes? Is that a no? Yep. We got Eric. We got yes. Sumit. Got it? Get it? Got it? Clear. Except for the center universe, that doesn't exist. Right? Because it's supposed to be expanding to infinity, or maybe contracting. Who knows? Well, I don't know. Oh god, and then we have all these theories about like, oh, expanding because of that stinking dark energy. For now. Let's not get into like the heat death of the universe here. But anyways, back to our AR session origin. We have our AR session origin, and this is the thing that does that we attach components to do our AR stuff. So on our AR session origin, we need to do some other things. And you know what? Because we're using Lidar, why not let's use occlusion too? Occlusion is the act of having something block the image of something else. So because we're using Lidar, let's use occlusion too. And now occlusion has to be attached to your AR camera because that's the thing that's doing the rendering. So I'm going to click on my AR camera. I'm going to add component and add an AR occlusion manager right there. So let's scroll down a little bit. So we have a human segmentator, which is the fastest and fastest. So this is good. This is fine. This is what we want. And then what we'll have is we'll add another thing, the thing that actually does the meshing. Now, what has to do with the meshing is we have to create a child object of this AR session origin. And child object just means like we have one child object here. This AR camera is a child of your AR session origin, just like you are a child of your parents. Or if you're Batman, you have no parents. So I'm going to right click and create an empty. And I'm going to rename this game object. I'm going to rename this to my AR mesh manager. Dark, just like the Dark Knight. And that's because on this AR mesh manager, I need to add a component and add an AR mesh manager. So now what we're going to create is we need a prefab to sort of show the mesh. So what happens in this LiDAR, in this meshing, is that this LiDAR will detect all the depth and it'll sort of map out the dips, divots, and turns and bends of something. And when it does that, if you hear complaining, that's my dog. He's an old man. So when it comes to meshing, it'll sort of analyze that and it'll place a mesh. And a mesh is basically a series of triangles all connected together to form a game object, to form, the boundaries of something. So bonus points, minus you, Eric. Bonus points if you can tell me why a game object, its mesh, is always a series of triangles and not something else. No one from Circuit Stream can. I Math. So we have some good answers. We have some real good answers. Man, you guys got it. So let's see. Michael, you are technically correct in that it is math. You're not wrong. And Evan and Hope and let's see. We have Michael and Evan Harris and Daniel Rojas. Yes, exactly. Yes, we only have 3 points needed to make a plane. A triangle sort of develops a bunch of squares. So a triangle is the simplest geometric shape that makes up other shapes. That's why meshes are always composed of triangles. And yes, to minimize errors as well. So you have exactly Shalin. Exactly. So we have 3 points that are needed to make an entire plane. And that's it. There's only 3 points. We can't make a plane out of 2 because that's a line. We can't make a point or a plane out of 1 because, that's a point. So we need 3. 3 is the simplest geometric shape. Nice. So what we need to create a mesh prefab to compose all of our things. So in our Unity project, I'm going to go to my assets and I'm going to right click and create a new folder. And this will be my prefabs. So on this prefab, or inside of this prefab, I'm going to create a new game object in the hierarchy. I'm going to right click, create an empty, and let's call this my mesh prefab. And so what I need on my mesh prefab is basically 3 things. I need an add component and I need a mesh filter. And the mesh filter will contain all of the series of triangles that will make up this game object. And then I also need a mesh renderer, which will give me a what it looks like. So like what its color is going to be, what its shininess may be. And right now I don't have a material in there. So it'll just be like an error. It'll be like pink, fuchsia, and terrible. So let's create a material. I'm going to right click and create a folder. And this will be materials. And then I'm going to enter that. And then I'm going to right click and create a material. And this will be my mesh material. And let's set this material to something dark transparent type thing. Let's do that. Yeah, color there. And you know what? Let's give it some transparency right around here. Let's do that. Yeah, there we go. So, will my mesh be transparent? I've set the transparency in my material, but will it be transparent? If you have sharp eyes, you can spot the mistake. Myra, why not? Does it need a different shader? Does it? The rendering mode should be changed to transparent. Exactly, Israel. Exactly. So in my inspector, its rendering mode is opaque. So that means the alpha isn't actually going to change. We need to change the rendering mode to transparent. And now it'll be transparent there. So we can see a little preview here. And there it is. So the other thing that we need on this mesh prefab, well, first we need to assign that material. So I'm going to click on my mesh prefab, and I'm going to drag and drop this material from my materials folder into this non-material, drop it there. And then the other thing that I need is I need something that'll register collisions, because I may have a visual of it, but I won't have any collisions on it. So to do collisions, I need to add another component on this thing, add component, and add a mesh collider. And there we go. So now we have our mesh prefab. We need to actually make it into a prefab now. So I'm just going to drag it from my hierarchy, dragging my mesh prefab into my prefabs folder. So it's highlighted there, and drop it. And there we go. We can drop it like it's hot. Now I can delete this from my hierarchy. I'm going to right click and delete because it's already in my project. And then on my AR session origin and my AR mesh manager, I'm going to drag this prefab into this area here. And there we go. So now we have the density of this mesh. The density of this mesh is basically like how small do we want the little triangles that make up the mesh filter here? You know, we can increase the density here because, you know what, why not? Let's see it. And then we do want the normals and the tangents and all that stuff. So now let's take a look at what the meat of this thing is actually going to do. Let's take a look at the canvas. The canvas, it all starts there, right? This is the visual part of what our script is doing. So we have a Lidar button here, and this Lidar button has references to that robot touch sphere and that biplane that I have there, and a text for this button that either will show a robot or a plane. So it'll switch back to whichever one that you want to do. So let's take a look at the prefabs for my robot sphere. I'm going to double click to open that up, and let's see what this is all about. And there is my sphere. There is my guy. So we have a box collider around it and a rigid body that is using gravity. Now, a rigid body is important because it is the thing that that allows this game object to feel Newtonian forces. And by Newtonian, I mean, like, you know, your Newtonian laws of physics. So you have your laws of momentum and other stuff like that. I'm sure Eric will type that in the chat. Maybe. There's 3. But basically, we have a rigid body that is feeling forces, and it feels gravity because it's use gravity is checked right here. So then we have that robot touch control. Its move speed is pretty high, so it'll dart around a little bit. Its turn speed is also pretty decent, and its dead zone. This dead zone is basically like if I move the joystick that is not above 0.2, then it's not going to do anything. So let's just take a look at what that looks like. And let's do edit script. That's right. Pesky. Well, this will be fine. So we have a robot touch controller, and we have, no, you know what? Let's change that. That's right. Because with every Unity project, you need to edit your preferences. That's the finder. Let's do Unity. So let's do Unity, and let's do preferences. And my external tools, instead of open by file extension, you're going to click on that and go to Visual Studio, which you should download when you download Unity onto your project or machine, whichever one. And you can close that. And now let's open that thing up. Sphere, and right click, down, edit script. And then we'll open that up eventually. eventually. There. Is it there? Did it open? Oh, it's thinking. There we go. Nope. Give it a moment. It hasn't had caffeine yet. Oh, we don't need any of this stuff. At least not right now. So let's take a look at what this thing is doing. So on enable, it's finding that joystick when you enable it. And then here we're looking at that joystick direction dot magnitude. So the magnitude of that joystick, which is 2D, which means we're using the X and the Y coordinate. So when that is greater than a transform, I'm adding force to that rigid body, right? Adding force to that rigid body in the forward direction. And when I do that, my robot is walking, so I'm setting that animator to be true, and then setting the animator to be false when, he's not moving. It makes sense that he's not being animated as walking when he's not moving. And then we have a rotation right here, and the rotation will be the same as the direction as the joystick. So he's going to look at the directions of your joystick. So you'll turn them around, spin them around, spin it, spin it, spin it. So that's the robot controller. Now let's look at something real interesting. Let's go back to the scene view, and let's look at that plane, because the plane is very interesting. I'm going to click on that prefab, and there it is. So I'm going to double click and open it up. So this plane touch controller, we have a move speed of 5 and a turn speed of 10. And we have an up force that'll keep this thing up and afloat. So I'm going to right click on plane, go to edit script, and we'll take a look at what this is doing. So of course we're getting that joystick. And then in the script here, we're using the same rigid body add force. So we're adding force in the upward direction, so it'll be remaining flying. However, that up force, you can change it to be, you can change this to move forward here. And then you can also multiply this by a joystick direction there. And now when it comes to modifying these things, because I'm terrible at, using gyroscope to control things, which is actually quite fun. It's challenging. You can modify the script when you pull it from the GitHub repository and see which one works for you. Now this rotation though, device rotation.get. This is a fun part. This is a real fun part. Because this device rotation is taken from another script. It is right here. Let's double click to open that up. It is not your typical script. It doesn't inherit from auto behavior. It's just a static class. It contains information. So a static class is like having a cookie jar that is sitting on your shelf, and you use the cookie jar whenever you want to dip your hands into the cookie jar and take a cookie, or take a method, or a variable, or something like that. It's always sitting there, but it's never actually active. It's there for availability. It's there if you want to eat a cookie. So for this static class, we are getting the input gyro, the gyroscope that's on this device. And we're getting its rotation for that gyroscope. And this gyroscope is here, input.gyro.attitude. Oh, there we go. So, where'd you go? There we go. So this quaternion, we're first checking, we're initializing the gyroscope here. So initializing means that it has to be enabled in order for us to use it. And then we're setting up an interval to sort of check where the rotation is at every different interval. And then if it does initialize, we're going to return that gyroscope's quaternion. And a quaternion is just a rotation there. And that is how we'll be controlling the rotation of the plane, by waving this iPad around and stuff. So now let's go back to Unity, and we're going to go through the most painful part. The most painful part is actually building it onto the device. Oh god. So let's see. I'm going to save my scene. File, save. Dev woes. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to switch our build settings over. Let's do file, build settings. Very first thing in the build settings that we need to do is we need to add the open scene. We need to add a scene to build, otherwise we're not going to build anything. So we have that scene. It's my AR Air Robot Control, and I'm going to switch it to my iOS, like so, and then I'm going to switch platform. Why did the math student do their homework on the floor, do their multiplication homework on the floor? It's because the teacher told him not to use tables. Or here's one of my favorite ones. How did the mathematician solve their constipation problem? His constipation problem. He worked it out with a pencil. Sorry, guys. You know, you gotta have fun when you're doing something a little like building to a platform. So we've switched our platform to iOS. I make no apologies. They'll get the recording. There's no escape. So now what we're going to do is we're going to check our player settings and make sure that everything is set up for iOS. So let's go to player settings and open that up. Player settings. All right. Okay, so first thing that we want to do in our player settings, let me see if I remember this, is we want to set the, where to go, camera usage description. So this, you have an asterisk there, and you just need something to fill in the blanks here. It needs something. So we're gonna say Lidar AR. Lidar AR. Lidar. LIDAR. There, you need a microphone, you need a location, you know, LIDAR. And then let's see what else. We need target. Device is your iPhone and iPad and your device SDK. Your target minimum iOS version is version 11. Anything less than that is not going to do anything, because anything less than 11 does not have any AR capabilities. Okay. Now, if that is everything, we should be able to build and run. Now we want to select build and run because we want this to open up Xcode. We want this to open up that solution. So let's do build and run. And we're going to create a new folder called builds and click on create. And then choose. And then we'll see which error comes up. We'll see. We'll see. Holding my breath. I would be amazed if my memory has served me this time. This is a good sign. It's building. It's building all the things. Building all the things. So it's getting to be the summer, and maybe we'll start traveling again soonish. Maybe, fingers crossed. But I was thinking, like, I want to go to the tropics. And it's built. But the tropics, you know. But you know what? How much soda can a tropical bird drink? 2 cans. Oh my god, you beat me to it. Eric, what's a pirate's favorite type of camera? Ooh. Does it have to do with our cameras? Polaroid, Lidar. Nice. So on this thing, let's see. Okay, my iPad is still connected, so we are building it. Now, when it comes to Xcode, when you build it and you have DSLR. So when it comes to building things in Xcode, what you have to do is you also have to check like automatic signing, which I don't believe I've done in Unity. But you can do that here in Xcode, and I'll walk you through that. And then and your device will have to be enabled, like developer mode will be enabled and all that stuff. So let's go to Xcode and let's see. So my iPad is connected, it's ready. Let's click on this and let's make sure that our signing is all ready. So here we have Lidar robots, and that's good. Let's click on signing and capabilities and our provisioning profile. This is something that you need too. So you need to check automatic manage signing and enable automatic. So my team needs to be, a team here. So you can either select a team if you've already created or add an account. So I'm going to choose mine because I've already created it. And its provisioning profile will be there and its signing certificate is there. Okay. So if all goes well, I can hit this lovely little play button up here and it will build it to the iPad. Let's click play. So tense. If this is flawless, I will be amazed. So all of you Windows developers out there, if you are, needing to develop on a, iOS device, you can cheat the system. But just don't tell anyone. Who's a fan of Louis Rossmann? Or Louis Rossmann? He's like a one-man army against or for the right to repair. I'm a huge fan. So are you. But whenever I'm working with an Apple product, I think of him and I'm like, dang, dude. To be honest, how you do repair things, they become super tiny. Yeah, things are really super tiny. Build succeeded. Oh, let's take a look. Oh, there it is. Oh, hold on. And let's see. Let's do. Okay, it's made with Unity. Oh, I forgot something. Oh, I totally forgot. I knew it. I knew it. I totally forgot something. So oh man, in my Unity project here, let's go to, you might run into an issue that when you build your AR foundation type thing, you have a black screen, which is what I saw. And that's because I made a rookie mistake here. I'm gonna close that. My rookie mistake was actually in my project settings because I forgot to do something. In my XR plugin management, yeah, check ARKit. Yeah, check ARKit. I knew it. Rookie mistake. Always check that. If you're using the XR plugin management and you need a plugin provider, check that. Check that. Yeah, totally. It's the tools, not my memory. So now let's build it again. Let's do file, build and run. Noodle again. And then what I'm going to use, once this is done building onto my device, I'm going to use this nifty little app called A Power Mirror. And this will mirror, it should, right? But I'm going to use this thing called A Power Mirror, and that's to mirror whatever is on my mobile device, either whether it's an iPad or iPhone or Android tablet. It can mirror that as long as you have the app installed on your thing. But come on. It's thinking. It is thinking. What do you call an elegant dinosaur? Gentle. Oh, suavemente. Those are good answers. Dino, sir. Oh, let's see. Let's open up that Xcode again. Let's see. Finished running. Is this the project? Let's see. Xcode. Let's do this one. And then, is that the one? Well, you can always open a solution. Builds, and it is there it is. Open. There we go. So now let's hit play. Compiling. But see, a Gentosaurus is like, what do you call a dinosaur that's meek and, fluffy? Wait a minute, Eric. What do you call cheese that isn't yours? Wait. Nacho cheese. Did I get it? Why did the Can Crusher quit their job? Ooh, I don't know, Kyle. Ooh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. So it has built onto my thing. So let's start to mirror this. Hold on. We have a USB connection, so I can disconnect this guy. And there, screen mirroring. Oh, come on. Don't fail me now. Hold on. A power mirror. Mirror. And detect. We are looking at the desktop right there. And then we will mirror to come on. Why? Oh, what? Okay, let's disconnect. There. Okay. Disconnect. Screen mirroring. Come on. We're so close. Ah, just my luck. Oh, let's do Wi-Fi connection. What? iOS, come on. Okay, let's do that one. Mirror. Screen mirroring. Dang it! We were so close. Ah. Okay. Well, this will be a little bit, because they do have a USB connection here, but this will be fun for you guys to see. Plug it in. Okay, USB connection. There we go. USB. Oh, you're right. I could do a QuickTime Player. Enabled, continue. Hold on. Ah, man. That's not working. Let's do iOS. And there. Let's try this again. Now I wonder if it's because I'm not on the same Wi-Fi. Hold on.
Hello again, everybody. We lost our pun queen. I'm sure she's coming right back just in a minute here, but for now, we're gonna review what we've learned so far. We're gonna talk about where we are in the build. We are so close. We're very sorry for the technical difficulties here. I saw the project before our workshop today, and it is really quite cool. But I guess the iPad went to sleep or something like that. I'm not so sure. So thank you for your patience, everybody.
Sorry, I lost connection there.
It's all good, Nakisa. Take it away.
Okay. Whew. There we go. Yes. Yes, let's use QuickTime. Or here, 1 second. Let's do this. Maybe let's just like hold it up to the webcam. Oh God. This is the last resort because this is super cool and super fun. Okay, let's do Lidar robots. And then, okay, so you see this? Oh God. There. And that transparent is sort of doing the thing. So let's click on robot. And it's somewhere. I wonder if it fell there. Oh, come on. Where are you? Come on. Where are you? Wait for it to. Ah, there we go. So it's meshing right there. Mission. So let's do a, oh geez, let's do a robot. There he is. Ah, sweet. So now I'm going to use, so he's there, so there's a thing, so I'm gonna whoop. This is a little difficult to control here, but there he goes. There he is. Yeah, whoop, whoop. There he is. Boom. There we go. Right? Tracking is so cool. Like, look at that meshing. It's meshing that thing. So let's try that plane. Oh my God, I'm gonna be terrible at this. But plane, yeah, I'm terrible at that. But let's do that little sphere again. Boop, boop. Oh, there. And because I'm using that occlusion manager, there he is. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. So let's do that. There he is. Oh. So there he is. And there. And then let's do. Boop. Where'd he go? Where is he? Yeah. And so he's being occluded, so he's behind there. So if I take a look, there he is. Woo! Oh man. Oh, it's so cool. And there we go. So that's awesome. Oh yeah. So this is actually quite fun. Oh, look at him, and he's rolling around. He's rolling and rolling. Anyways. And that concludes your Lidar AR workshop. Wasn't that fun?
One pun for the road, Nakisa, before I take it over here.
What is it? Oh, you want another pun? Let's see. Oh man. Let's see. Oh my God, now I'm being put on the spot.
Well, sometimes when you want to run these pun conventions.
I got one. Okay. Why does the Finnish Navy have barcodes on their ships?
You made this up on the spot? This has to be from a library. I don't know. I don't know.
It's so they can Scandinavian.
Oh God. Okay. I think I speak for the chat when I say thank you, but I'm just kidding. Yeah, we're gonna.
No apologies.
No, and nor should you. Audience, can you hear me? Visuals are all good. Am I still good with the audio here? Awesome, Robert. Thank you. Nakisa, thank you. Amazing presentation as always. It's unfortunate that we had some technical difficulties at the end, but awesome stuff as always. I love seeing creators share their tips. Lidar is incredible. It's so cool. It's so good. And I was seeing in the chat, lots of people, want to revisit this content and this concept. So thank you very much. For those of you who are in the audience that made it this far, thank you for sticking around. You definitely will get the recording. You will get the project assets emailed to you afterwards as well. I'm going to take about 10 minutes here. I'm going to wrap things up before we bring Nakisa back on stage to do the Q&A. Now, I know we flew through a lot of content today, so if there are any outstanding questions, if there are more questions, please do drop them into the questions tab now so that we can get to them rather. Last thing, if you could all navigate to the polls tab once more, I am going to drop another poll in. This one is very, very important for us. It helps us to decide whether or not we should continue doing workshops like this with Nakisa on topics like LiDAR. So on a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend this workshop to a friend? I just published the poll there now, so please navigate on over there. That will really, really help us a lot. Okay, moving on. Let's just talk about our courses really quickly here to give you a better idea of what they are, how we can help you, and what we teach. If you've enjoyed hearing this, learning about this type of content today, obviously we would love to have you or your team join into our programs. No matter who you are, what your current skill set is, we can help. Whether you're looking to change careers, start a business, bring this technology back to work, or just upskill because you're curious about this new technology, we would be very happy to connect with you to see if your goals align with the programs that we offer. On screen here are a few of the students that have studied with us in the past and have gone on to do incredible things and make waves in this industry. It's always nice to see some alumni in our chat as well. Eric, Lee, Myra, who's currently in our course. It's so nice to see some familiar names, and thank you for your continued support of our workshops. So what do they study? You know, what courses do we have to offer? Well, these are the flagship full courses here on screen. The XR Development with Unity course is beginner friendly. It's a part-time course. It's taught fully live, fully online, and it's designed to teach fundamental skill sets and best practices for prototyping this type of content in the Unity engine. Our next cohort actually gets started on April the 27th, and the tuition fee is $3,950 US. More on the XR Project Accelerator course in just a minute here, but our most recent cohort actually just kicked off on the 1st of March, and we have confirmed that our next cohort will begin on the 24th of May. Now, diving into the 10-week course a little bit more, this is the program that we recommend to most beginners. It really is designed to teach you how to build your own experiences from scratch in Unity. Again, live and online. It includes 3 hours worth of class sessions per week and is complemented by weekly one-on-one appointments with instructors like Nakisa. You are welcome to use this time however you'd like, but for now, just know that if you have an idea for an application that you would like to build, we would love to help you bring it to life. Now, we also have 2 short courses that are complementary to this 10-week course, or that can be taken as standalone programs as well. Just like the 10 and 8-week courses, they're also live, online, and part-time. The C# Scripting Fundamentals course is a program that we built last year. It's a 3-week program, and it's great to take leading into the 10-week course if you're new to coding with C# or to coding generally, sort of as a prep course. Or afterwards, if after you've taken the 10-week program, you're still struggling with coding a little bit, it's great to take as a refresher program as well. Now, as the name would suggest, we dive into the fundamentals of the C# language and how to go about Visual Studio, which you saw briefly today within the Unity engine to create your own scripts. This is really an essential part of the development process, and we do spend lots of time in this course and in our 10-week course focusing on it. We do have C# courses beginning every month, and our next one actually kicks off on April the 5th. The Intro to XR Design short course is sort of a standalone product. It can be taken in conjunction with our 10-week course if you're looking to upskill in the design side of things, or if you're a 2D UX designer today looking to get job ready for the XR space. This would be a great program for you if you know that you don't want to be learning code, you don't want to be developing content, but you want to think about the principal skill sets and fundamental principles, I guess, for designing XR content. It's a 5-week program. It teaches these fundamentals of visual design, sound design, special effects, and more. We don't actually have our next cohort for this program confirmed just yet, but it's looking like it's going to begin in early to mid-May. So plenty of time to get signed up here if this is something that you might be interested in. Now, for both of the short courses and for the XR Development with Unity course, no experience is required. So please, beginners, have no fear. Now, for the more intermediate or advanced folks in the room that are looking to continue upskilling or to get some project support, if these previously mentioned programs are perhaps a little bit too elementary for you, this is the course that might be more suitable for you. This is a portfolio course that continues to teach more advanced best practices in subjects like AR and VR interaction development, as well as things like optimization and publishing for your app. But the main focus in our XR Project Accelerator course is really to help you take a new idea or an existing portfolio project and advance it to the point where you might even be comfortable commercializing that application if that was your desire. We do this by ramping up the amount of one-to-one time that you get with our experts weekly. So in addition to the weekly lessons to complement your upskilling journey, we actually meet with you 2 hours per week for 8 weeks to help you work on this project. Now, for all of our courses, both short courses, both full courses, we do offer payment plans as well. So if this is something that you'd like to take advantage of to spread the costs out over an extended period of time, please don't hesitate to ask us about a payment plan or to take advantage of them. Now, we really believe that taking a holistic approach to education is a great way to learn new skills. So we've actually created a couple of bundles that any new student is welcome to take advantage of. So on screen here, you can see that we are selling what we call the VR Starter Pack, which includes admission to the 10-week XR Development with Unity course, the 3-week C# Scripting Fundamentals course, and as long as Oculus can mail to you, we will send you an Oculus Quest 2 as part of your admission. Now on screen here, you can also see the VR Starter Pack Plus. This is the exact same structure in that you're getting the 10-week course, the C# course, and the headset, but you also have the opportunity to add the XR Design course to your bundle at 50% off. And more recently on our website, you can see this. We've also made it so that you can add additional one-to-one sessions to your bundle as well. Now, we've also made the exact same structure here for the accelerator course. So you can get the C# refresher course in this case, the XR Project Accelerator course, and a new headset for the same price as the accelerator course on its own. And you do have the same add-on options for the Accelerator Pack Plus. Now on screen here, you can see our admissions team. Obviously, you've already met me. I've been your host for the day, but my counterparts, Steph and Brendan, also support admissions and our education programs. Actually, a special shout out to Brendan today. It's his first week, so we've been onboarding him. He is here behind the scenes as well. So Brendan, say hello if you're in the audience, but welcome to the education team. We're super happy to have you joining us today. For folks in the audience, you should know that we're a little bit different than other companies, admissions teams and educational teams, in that we are all extremely involved in the before, during, and after your registration process. I'm sure, folks like Eric, Lee, you can probably, provide testament to this, but we are really here to help answer any questions you might have about financials, your learning or project goals, anything technical about Unity, your device, your plans, the logistics of our courses, and so on. This is a free service that we offer. So if you're at all curious about any of what we're talking about today, please don't hesitate to get in touch with the three of us if you'd like to chat. You can reach out to us directly via the website. There's a live chat, a contact form submission, or if you've already gotten our contact information, feel free to give us a call, send us an email, and we would love to connect. Now, just a couple more quick things here. So if you are interested in learning more about the syllabus for our courses, or you want to submit an application, head on over to the learning page on our website where you can read more details about each of the courses that we offer. And then Dayon, who is just dropping the link in the chat now, he has also asked me to shout out tomorrow afternoon at this time, I believe it's 12 p.m. Pacific, we do have on our YouTube channel, we call it the XR Happy Hour. So each week we'll have one of our instructors come on and do a live stream and just address questions from the audience, talk about the latest and greatest tech trends, all of these fun things. So tomorrow afternoon, our very own Nakisa will be hosting our XR Happy Hour. And we also have confirmed that next week, our workshop with another of our instructors, Cash, will be happening next Thursday, the 25th, also at 12 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, with all that out of the way, that will wrap up the formal presentation. I would like to invite Nakisa back onto the stage here. We're going to go ahead and start answering some of these questions. So please and thank you, Nakisa. Let's get going here. Welcome back. Okay. Good to see you. I hope you you reloaded with the puns.
Damn it.
Oh, Myra tried with a pun in the chat too that I just saw. This is pretty great. Okay, so What I'm going to do, Nakisa, I'm going to start with upvoted questions. So for folks in the audience, if you navigate over to our questions tab, you can actually upvote each of the questions. Just in the interest of time, I'm going to start with the most upvoted questions, but feel free to paste any new ones or that type of thing. So our very first question here, and this is a good one. It's one that we see often. It's from Sandeep. So Sandeep is asking, what is step 0 to get started in LiDAR and in the augmented reality space for well-versed developers who are already familiar with computer vision, deep learning? I interpret this question as, how can I get started if I'm not new to coding, but potentially new to Unity? So Nakisa, what are your thoughts?
Well, better get used to the Unity interface. So yeah, like play around, download the software, play around with it, get familiar. Learn some more things about like architecture and like your project architecture and keeping things organized. If you're already well versed in like deep learning or computer vision, there is things that you can use like TensorFlow or OpenCV if you want to do your own type of thing. But LiDAR, in terms of like your iOS, is with like packages and the XR plugin management. So do keep your versioning straight. That's really what I would recognize. Just like, just get used to Unity.
And Nakisa, you might be, less forthright with saying this. Sandeep, take our course. Just kidding. I have no shame. I'll say it. I'll be the one to say it. Take our course. We would love to help you. You can work with people like Nakisa every day, work on your own project, learn something new about Unity, and focus on new topics like XR design and learn how to work with different SDKs. You would be picking up the coding stuff in C# very, very quickly, but we could also really help to accelerate that learning process with you. Moving on, let's see here. This is a question from Eric. Eric, great to see you again.
Nice.
Always love seeing you at the workshops. So Nakisa, I think that this is in reference to our to developing with Apple and the workaround there. Is this something that you're familiar with?
So if you're just like building a prototype and testing, you don't need to register as an Apple developer. You just need a provisioning profile. To have that $100 registry or something like that, that is for if you plan to publish your app on the App Store.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hopefully that answers your question, Eric.
Yeah, you don't need to buy that right now. Not until you're like trying to make bank on your brilliant ideas.
Absolutely. Now, Nakisa, forgive me if we covered this during your demonstration. We talked about LiDAR meshes and making them transparent. This might be one of those ones that we addressed during the workshop.
Right. So to make your LiDAR mesh transparent, as in like it's there, but you don't want to see it, you will need like a different transparent material, like a occlusion material. Now, I believe that Unity's AR Foundation samples GitHub repository has an example of this material. So you can just clone that and rip that material right out of there.
Awesome. Hope just asked a question like 1 second ago. This is a great question. You just mentioned GitHub, but I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. Sharing your app, getting others to test it. Would GitHub be the best solution?
Yes. So if you are trying to get your project around and installed, yes, I would use GitHub to distribute your project and to start testing that. Now, if you are prototyping and it's an iOS device, you can use something called Test Flight. And Test Flight is kind of like a distribution platform for you to, get all the testing out of there.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. I saw one. So Michael asked this one. This is a great question, Michael. I'm really, first of all, thank you for being so active in the chat today. I saw contributing to the puns and everything else. It was good fun. So this is sort of a two-part question here. And the answer is yes. So we actually have a community forum that we're working on right now where folks can share their projects, get exposures, participate in some competitions. We've actually got one going on right now. But then you should also know that we do have a community Slack channel that anybody is welcome to join. I think the disconnect here is we do have open office hours that any of our alumni are welcome to join weekly. So you would have to be an alumni in one of our courses. But if you're not interested in taking a program with us, but being a part of the community, the Slack channel or the community forum with the FAQs and project support and everything like that, both great options for you. So I hope that answers your question regarding support. What else? Sadesh has a good question here. So Nakisa, this one will definitely be for you. How is the LiDAR in Unity different from developing natively on iOS? Any conceptual overlaps between the two? What are your thoughts here?
Well, they both come from like Apple's AR kit. So whether or not you're using like a natively developed iOS app, they should function the same. It's just like the interface that you're using. At least that's what I would expect. Now, I haven't developed anything using native, so that will require some testing there. So I would say try it.
Just give it a shot and see what happens.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul.
Bite off more than you can chew and chew it.
Absolutely, love that. Here's a good question that I don't know the answer to this one. It's from Timothy. So thank you, Timothy. Timothy asks, can you use leap motion to control the robot/airplane? Nakisa, you're excited.
Yes, you absolutely can use a leap motion. Now, it depends on like, and actually I have a leap motion. I've been using it for some time. So it's really fun to use in particular. But like the weird thing is that you would have to have like some way to mount it on like your device, and like maybe you have like a little mount here or something like that. Like on the HoloLens, there is a mount that you can use for leap motion, and you can absolutely use your hands to control a robot and planes. And so if you're using like any sort of hand tracking thing, there's a neat little SDK for iOS and Android called ManoMotion. ManoMotion. Maybe I can send a. And they have a Unity SDK. So it's mobile hand tracking and gesture stuff. So I'll throw this in the chat here. There it is, ManoMotion. And that's something that you can use for mobile hand gestures and recognition. Yeah. Super cool. Leap motion is like, it's real nice.
I was gonna say, I know it's one of your favorites. Whenever you get to shout it out, I love bringing that up. What else? There's a few questions from Hesh. I believe I'm saying your name correctly here. I hope I am. My apologies if I'm not. This is a really quick one. So the custom package, the assets from today's workshop, along with the recording, will all be emailed to you once we wrap up the live session today, probably a couple hours from now. Sorry, a couple hours from now, you'll receive the email. We are almost done. We will not be here in a couple of hours, but you get the point. Just had to clear that up. Nakisa, is there anything else that catches your eye in the questions tab, whether it's been uploaded, not answered, anything at all?
Let's take a look. What does the XR have to do with it?
41 minutes. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Ollie Morris, is the XR to do with the AR and VR? XR is basically an all-encompassing term. It's like in mathematics, you have a variable X, and X could equal anything.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, extended reality, but I think would be the more colloquial term.
Right.
Just all-encompassing, AR, VR, and MR as well.
Yeah.
Jacob would like to see a picture of your pup. I think he's asleep, Jacob. I don't know if he might be camera shy, but
he is a little camera shy. He's an old pup. His name is Cash, not to be confused with the developer Cash. I didn't name him. But yeah, he's a super cute pup.
Yeah, he normally squeaks on the workshops. He wants attention, and so
yeah.
I think that will be his appearance for the day. But thank you, Jacob, for thinking of him.
Yeah, if you take the courses, you'll probably see the dog, as you know, a little insensitive.
Absolutely. Nakisa, there's a question here from Sarah. Sarah, great to see you again. I'm glad that you could make it out to the workshop. The future of LiDAR, how do you see it impacting the
Ooh.
industry at scale?
Ooh. Oh, I love this question. I love it, love it. So, yes. Yes, I do think that LiDAR is going to be the future of AR in particular because like what you saw today on this iPad is basically what a HoloLens is doing. It's meshing the environment, being spatially aware, and all that thing. So the only differences between like what this iPad can do and what the HoloLens can do is a HoloLens a little bit more intuitive about your body. It has your eye tracking, it has your hand gestures, and you can use two hands. It has your voice. Um, so so lidar technology is and I'm very surprised that Samsung has not followed or Apple and put lidar sensors on their phones because lidar is a complete game changer. It creates a more immersive AR experience. And
Okay.
you saw today like it was updated in real time, and it's just like it's fantastic. It's going to bring your AR mobile apps like to the next level. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I mean, you saw, and I saw a couple people, I think Michael included, you were commenting, the tracking, the mesh tracking is so precise. It does such a fantastic job. Um, so I definitely, Sarah, would agree with Nakisa on this one, and that it's absolutely going to be a game changer. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Um, Folks, I think we're gonna wrap it there just in the interest of time. It's been almost 2 hours. So we're gonna wrap up for today. But for those of you who made it this far, thank you so much for sticking it out all the way until the end of the workshop. Thank you for joining us at another of our fun workshops with Nakisa. Great to see everybody. Hope to see you next week. Cash, the developer on our team, not Cash the puppy, will be teaching our workshop next Thursday. Our very own Nakisa will be doing the XR happy hour on our YouTube channel tomorrow. And if at any point you want to learn more about our courses, don't hesitate to hit up Steph, Brendan, or myself, as we would be happy to connect with all of you. But for now, have a great day, stay safe, be well, and bye-bye.